Okay, so as usual, hello person watching this. This demo is going to be a quickie. I just want to show you real quick how to make rings that interlock. You can use it to make, being in an Olympic year, it seems appropriate. You can use this same technique to make chains, a variety of things. But again, it's using layer masks and layers and stuff to make things happen. I want to start by opening a new file that's 6 inches wide by 4 inches high, which, by the way, is a preset size. So if I go to new, if I click the preset bar, you'll see I've got, standard paper sizes. But down here where it says photo, there is a whole list of standard photo sizes. So I picked landscape 4 by 6. So it's horizontal 4 by 6. Okay, to start this, what I want to do is create a new layer. First thing. So there's my new transparent layer. I want to get my elliptical marquee tool. And over here on the kind of the left-hand side, what I'm going to do is hold Shift and drag out a circle. And again, I want to make sure I'm on my new transparent layer when I do this. And I'm going to fill that with black. Say OK, and I'm going to deselect. Now I want to go back to, I want to stay with my elliptical marquee tool. And what I'm going to do is just drag out another circle that's not as big as this one. And again, I'm going to hold Shift, and I'm just going to drag to about there. That works. And while I'm still in my marquee tool, you'll see when I move inside the selection, my cursor turns into the little arrow with the marquee next to it. Well, that means I can move my marquee around. And I'm going to center it. Try and, doesn't have to be perfect. Put it in the center of that circle. And while I'm still on that layer, I'm just going to hit delete. Now, and deselect. So now I'm going to turn off the background layer so you'll see that I have indeed created a ring. The transparency is showing through. I just deleted one selection from another object, and there you go. So now that I have one ring, I want to duplicate that layer. So I'm going to drag this down to the new layer icon. And I'm going to slide that new ring over to the right. And I'm going to hold Shift so I drag it straight. And I'm just going to put it in an area so that it will look like it's interlocked. And on the one that I just created on the right-hand side, I want to make it a selection, and I'm going to change its color. So easiest way is just put your cursor in the preview of that layer. I'm going to hold the Command key, Control on a PC, and click, left click, and you'll see it made it a selection. Now I'm just going to go fill that with a different color. And in this case, I'll go Edit, Fill, get the color. That brings up my color picker. I don't know. I'll go with that as a color. Say OK. And now I have one gold ring, one black ring. And I'm going to deselect. Now what I want to do is I want to select my gold ring, my newest ring. And on that layer, I want to add a layer mask. Just a blank layer mask. Now I want to make sure that my My default colors are active. So I want my foreground color to be black, background color to be white. And what I want to do is I want to activate the selection of the black ring. Now there's a reason I'm doing it this way, is because I want the selection marquee, the marching ants, to act as a edge protector for the thing I'm going to do after I make this a selection. So first things first, go to my black ring layer. And I don't have to highlight the layer. I just have to put my cursor in the preview window here. Hold Command, Control on a PC, and click. So now my black ring is an active selection. However, where I wanted to do something is actually on my gold ring layer mask. So I want to click on my layer mask for my the ring on the right. I want to make sure the black is my foreground color, and I'm going to get my brush, and I am just going to simply paint out this area, remove part of the gold ring, but I'm using the black ring selection to keep my brush from painting outside the lines. So a little convoluted, but the kind of thinking you want for this sort of for working in Photoshop. And then I can deselect. And now you see I have flat shapes that the rings interlock. So at its core, it's very simple. And to be honest, now I've got a ring that if I copied that layer and moved it, you'd see that I've taken out that chunk. So I could literally, string a bunch of links together. And like I said, make the Olympic rings, being an Olympic year. I'm going to dump that one for now because I'm not really done. What I want to do is, because I need to show you one more thing here. I'm going to go to my black ring, and I'm going to go down to my layer effects. It doesn't matter which ring. And I'm going to go to Bevel and Emboss. And I'm just going to give this some shape, let's say. So I want to give it some volume. So now it's kind of a cylindrical, or a tube, let's say, or a ring with some volume. And I'm going to say okay to that. And I want to do the same thing to the gold ring. Now that was a pretty simple process. I could go in and put a bevel and emboss on this layer, but why not make it easy on myself? And so instead, I'm going to hold the Option key, and I'm going to drag my layer effect up to my other layer, and that'll make a duplicate of that layer styles, the layer effects. But what I want to show you is see how the ring seems to have volume until you get to where it interlocks. And see how it smooshes out here? It like flattens and it blows the whole effect. So what I want to do is go to my the colored ring layer. And I'm just going to double click the layer to take me to my, I don't want to change the name. Double click the layer to take me to my blending options screen. And in there, I want to make sure that layer mask hides effects is checked. And now you'll see that it maintains its cylindrical volume as the ring passes over. And now if you wanted to, you could always, go to your colored ring, make it a selection to protect the edges, and get a real soft brush and put a little shadow under there to, give it the appearance that it's really, crossing over or whatever. That's not absolutely necessary, but, what else you got to do? All right, that looks a little wonky there. Anyhow, that's the process. I like that better. Deselect, that's the finish. And that's the name of that tune. So those rings are available to use in any other as standalone layers, whatever the case may be. So it's one solid ring, one that's got a bite taken out of it. And you can take that bitten one and link as long as you want. There you go. So, interlocking rings, that was fun. See ya.